Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. Instead of doing a playthrough or campaign, I'm going to showcase what I think are the 6 best factions in the game overall. And this should be especially useful if you've never played this mod and you just want to have an easy campaign without having too many difficulties from the start. And keep in mind, there's always a degree of subjectivity in this. So if you disagree, you're gonna, leave a comment and argue if you think a different faction should have made it in the top 6. But yeah, let's begin. So yeah, in 6th place we have the Horde. They may be, if not the best melee focused faction, definitely in the top 3 in the whole mod. And they have so many things going for them. Even their default low-tier grunts have extremely good stats: 14 attack, 12 defense, armor penetration, and then it just keeps getting better from there. It has very strong Tauren units, which are even more durable and even stronger than the Orc units. And then on top of all that, they have this extremely elite melee unit. It's a berserker unit, so the thing with berserkers, of course, is you lose control of them once they aggro the enemy, but it's fine. They just go in autopilot. And just stat-wise, they're extremely good. 25 attack, 3 hit points, armor penetration. They scare enemy units. They make your own units have improved morale. And I first realized how good these guys were by facing against them with a human army full of paladins. I thought the paladins would easily win. Paladins are usually pretty good infantry, but these guys cut straight through them because not only do they have armor penetration, but the base attack and the charge bonus are both really high. So you have 9 charge bonus, 25 attack, and you have armor penetration. They cut through paladins like a knife through butter. And then they have a lot of other really good units as well. The Bluff Hoof, Thunder Hooves. This is the bodyguard unit for Tauren generals. Missile-wise, they're okay. And then, of course, they even have Orc Shamans, so even some decent spellcaster units as well. So yeah, that's it for the Horde. Next up, in 5th place, we have the Drukhari Trolls. Now, troll factions in general tend to be fairly good. They're very versatile. But recently I had a chance to do a full Drukhari campaign, and I have to say, out of all the like 4 or 5 troll factions, these guys are definitely the best. Their infantry tends to have better melee stats, better defense, higher attack, more hit points in general. They also have these kind of monstrous, extra heavy dire trolls and war golems, extremely durable, extremely strong. So just melee-wise, much stronger than other troll factions in general. But then on top of that, they still have the really good ranged units that troll factions tend to be known for. The Drukhari archers, very long-range missiles, armor penetration. The troll tribal hunters, which a lot of other troll factions have as well, extremely good. And then also really good spellcasters. Drukhari ice mages, probably one of the top 3 spellcaster units in the whole mod. I was surprised by how good they were. Extremely good. And on top of that, pretty decent cavalry as well. Probably the biggest weakness of this faction, but just overall, definitely a good faction if you want to have an easy campaign. Next up, we have the Goblins in 4th place, and they are a surprisingly strong faction. Also extremely fun. If you want to have a very unique campaign, I would really recommend playing as the Goblins because their unit roster is very unique and their starting position is extremely scattered. They're everywhere. They want to make money everywhere, so they're all over the place. So their bodyguard unit is pretty weak, the Hobgoblin, but they make up for it with a lot of their other units. So for example, they have the Colossal Warform, which is one of the strongest monster units in the whole mod. Extremely good melee. They can hire ogres. They have the Goblin Shredders, which are extremely high melee, 5 hit points, armor penetration, just all around really good stats. But where they really shine, and the main reason why I have them in 4th place is because of their ranged units. So you have the basic Goblin Tail Gunners, which are not bad, and you know, you get a lot of them, so you can line them up and do a lot of damage. But once you unlock the Goblin Warlocks, and especially the Goblin Artificier, I always say it wrong, which are basically Goblin Snipers, these guys can hit from extremely far away with full armor penetration. Now, these stats don't really show how good they are, but if you've ever watched my Goblin campaign, they're probably the best gun unit in the whole mod. Extremely, extremely good. If you have a few of these in your army, you're going to win almost every battle. And this is really the main reason Goblins are in 4th place. Alright, we're down to the top 3, and in 3rd place we have the Kaji or Silithid. Now this faction is quite unique. It's kind of like playing as the Scourge, but your units don't suck. And what I mean by that is undead units in the game have infinite morale. They fight to the death, and that's something that the Silithid share in common with the Scourge and the Forsaken. But even their like very low tier units like the Silithid Crawlers are pretty decent. Some of them even have the armor penetration trait, a lot of them have the fast moving trait, and they're extremely cheap. Very, very low upkeep, and you can have like a full stack of mid-tier units which are going to fight to the death. And then on top of that, they have some of the best cavalry in the whole mod. You have the Silithid Colossi. They're labeled as light cavalry, but they're heavier than I think almost any human cavalry in the whole mod. 24 attack, 20 defense, 2 hit points. But they're nothing compared to the even better Silithid Behemoth, which has 20 attack, 27 defense, so it's even better. And then you also have the Anubiseth Guardians, which are very, very solid melee infantry. They have 6 hit points, 23 defense. You also have the Silithid Crushers, which are a pretty good monster unit. And haven't talked about the best part of this faction. Their bodyguard unit, which has 0 upkeep, is one of the best spellcasters, probably top 2 in the whole mod. The Kaji Prophets, they have 0 upkeep. As long as you have family members getting adopted or getting born, you're getting one of the best spellcasters in the whole mod. Extremely, extremely good bodyguard unit. You have a few of these and you're going to absolutely dominate the battlefield. And that's in addition to having really good melee, really good monster units. So it's like top tier spellcasters, top tier cavalry, top tier infantry, all in one faction. And they have infinite morale and never run away. So yeah, definitely one of the strongest factions in the mod. So you might be wondering, what could be better than the Silithid? Well, in number 2 we have the Blood Elves, and they're better than the Silithid through just having better stats at everything overall. They have the Elven Rangers, which are probably the best archer unit, and also the best looking in the whole mod. They have really good monster units like the Arcane Guardians, and the even better Pyrostar Demolisher, which just has insane stats. 38 defense, 12 hit points, special abilities, they scare enemy units, just too good. And then on top of that, they have surprisingly good melee units like the Brightwing Vindicators, which are extremely durable, the Quel'Dorei Swordmasters, the Bloodblades, and also pretty decent cavalry as well with the Blood Knights and Hawkstrider Knights and a few others. And this is all without talking about their spellcasters. They have definitely the best spellcasters in the whole mod. They have quite a selection of them. Blood Mages, Sorceresses, Arcanists, and Priests of the Sun. All of these are really good, but the best one's definitely the Blood Mages, and the Blood Mages are the bodyguard unit for the faction. So every time you have a new family member that's born or adopted, you get the best spellcasters in the whole mod. And then on top of all that, they have 0 upkeep. So every time you're getting more of the best spellcasters in the mod, you're not having to pay more. And let's look at the stats for the Blood Mages. And they're even better than the stats show. Like, there's something really special about when they attack the enemy. 27 missile attack, of course, armor penetration because it's magic. Also very durable. A lot of spellcasters in this mod are very squishy. This one's not. 20 defense, they can hold their own in combat, 11 melee attack, and 2 hit points. So yeah, Blood Elves, extremely strong faction. Also keep in mind that the High Elves basically have the same stats and most of the same units. So most of what I said about the Blood Elves also apply for the High Elves, but the Blood Elves just look cooler, so play as them instead. And at number 1, you've probably guessed it already, it's the Burning Legion, the main villains of the Warcraft universe. Of course, they're going to be the strongest, and basically everything about this faction is good. They have some of the strongest melee infantry, they have the strongest monster units, they have Doom Guards, which are insanely good. They have Pit Lords. You can actually recruit Pit Lords and have Pit Lord Generals, extremely durable. You can even have, if anyone has played the Burning Crusade, these will look familiar. The Fel Reaver, which is absolutely insane. 40 defense, 12 hit points. They're basically unkillable unless you have extremely strong spellcasters to break through their armor. And then, of course, we have Infernals as well. Also 40 defense, 12 hit points, extremely durable. And they're classified as cavalry, so they basically have the best cavalry in the whole mod. They have the best infantry as well, probably the only faction that has stronger infantry units than the Horde. And on top of all of that, they also have probably the second best spellcasters in the whole mod. The main bodyguard unit is a pretty strong spellcaster unit, the Dreadlord bodyguards. You have the Orc warlocks, which do 22 missile attack, extremely good. But probably the best spellcasters are these evil Draenei, the Minari warlocks. For some reason, they're extremely good. 24 missile attack, very high mana slash ammo as well. Very long range missiles. You have a few of these and you can kill thousands of the enemy very easily. The Beholders are also pretty good, and what makes them especially good spellcasters is that they're very durable melee wise. They can hold their own. 15 melee attack, 4 hit points, 19 defense. They're stronger than most enemy infantry, and on top of that they also have very good magic attacks. So yeah, definitely if you want an extremely easy campaign, play as the Burning Legion or play as one of the factions that I talked about previously. So I hope this was useful. Please leave a like and subscribe if it was, or if you just enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys in the next one.